Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. So, if the Isolate does not encounter any problems, then we should get the night version of Siege at Shanghai in the community test environment today. So, if you didn't play the CTE version of Battlefield 4 for a while, then this is the right time to give it a shot again. I can't wait to see what the designers did to that map, and I hope that we got a lot of destructible light sources that we can use for tactics. But a problem that I see with these night maps is the 3D spotting, and in one of my recent videos I talked about that already, and I showed you a concept where I make the 3D spotting squad only. So that you would only get a triangle on your screen for the enemies that were spotted by your squad members and from no one else. I did get very positive feedback for this concept, but a few of you also asked very good questions like, shouldn't the MAV still be able to deliver 3D triangles for all team members and not just for the squad members? And what I think about the problem that the triangles basically provide a form of aim assist. To be honest, I didn't really see it like that before, but once I started to pay attention to my own gameplay, I did realize that the 3D spotting really does provide some kind of aim assist. Because usually you approach a control point, then you wildly press the Q button to spot or reveal enemies around the flag, and then you start to just fire below the pointy end of the triangle. So here you can create your own personal aim assist icon. What is also not so nice about the 3D spotting is that you can never be 100% certain that you will be hidden by smoke or a bush. Sometimes the triangle will still be visible even though your player model is completely concealed, and that makes it very easy for the enemy to kill you, as he just has to aim below the triangle, headshot, and you are back at the deploy screen. So I've been thinking about what could be done about that aim assist the triangle provides. A lot of players usually suggest to simply remove 3D spotting entirely from the game. There is actually quite a lot of negativity in the community towards that function. But there's a reason why DICE added it in the first place, and that was to make the game more accessible, to make it easier to get into. But with all the features that were added to achieve this goal, you have to ask the question if they went too far. And in the case of 3D spotting, I think they did went a bit too far, even for the normal mode. Because we have the 2D spotting on the minimap, we have the tracers that we see when the players fire, we have the voiceovers players shout out automatically, we have the scope glint and the trails for the sniper rifles. So there are really a lot of ways to find the enemy in Battlefield 4, and with the 3D spotting you just have to aim below the triangle to be able to do a headshot. So with that and night maps in mind, I tried to come up with a change for the 3D spotting that will still allow it to do what it was meant to do, which is to make the game easier and more accessible, while not making it too easy and ensure that it won't ruin the night maps. Now what I came up with is the idea that we have an area around the crosshair where we will not see any triangles that come from the 3D spotting. This sounds more complex than it actually is. Let me show you how that would work. So this here is the current state of the 3D spotting. There's an enemy to my left which has been spotted, so I get the triangle above his head and I get the icon on the minimap. When I aim at him, then the triangle will not go away, it will stay there as long as I have a direct line of sight. This means that I just have to aim below the pointy end of the triangle to hit his head. Now here's my idea. The enemy player has been spotted by one of my teammates, so I got the 3D triangle and the icon on the minimap. Now look what happens when I start to aim at him. The triangle starts to fade out the closer I get to the crosshair, while the icon on the minimap is still there. This means that the 3D triangle still makes it easy for me to find the player, because it shows me where he is, but it does not assist me anymore with aiming at his head. That part I need to figure out on my own, which will increase the skill cap and help a lot with the gameplay on night maps. And if I now look away from the player, then the 3D icon will start to become visible again. This means that the 3D icon will still help you to find the player, you just need to do that final part of the aiming without any help from the 3D spotting. But what if you want to spot an enemy, or if someone from your team spots one that is near your crosshair? If you do that right now in Battlefield 4, then the 3D triangle will stay above the head of the enemy as long as you look at him. With that area around the crosshair that I propose here, the following would happen. When the enemy is spotted, then for a short period of time you will get the 3D icon, until it disappears again. This means that when you spot an enemy you will get visual feedback that you just spotted an enemy and you will see where he is. And if one of your teammates would have spotted this enemy, then you would also get a 3D triangle for the same period of time, so you get a notification that someone is there. But then again, the final part of the aiming has to be done without any assist of a triangle. And since the area around the crosshair is designed as a circle, it would work exactly the same way when looking up or down. The triangle would fade in and out. So this also works when you have players at different elevation levels or if you are in a vehicle. Yes, I would also bring this change to the vehicles because I honestly see no reason why not to. I know that there are players out there who are scared by the idea of losing the 3D triangles, but you don't actually lose them. You still have them all around you. You still have the icons on the minimap or the air radar, and you also still have the tracers flying around everywhere. So it's surely harder to stay on target or get precisely on target, but it won't be as hard as you might think it would be. So I think that this concept here might be even better than the previous one where I showed you how squad-only 3D spotting could work. Because with this opacity circle around the crosshair, we also do something about the issue that the 3D triangle makes it too easy to precisely aim at enemy players. Now, as good as this all sounds in theory, I could also be completely wrong and this might not work very good when implemented into the game, but the great thing about Battlefield 4 is that we have the community test environment, which is meant to test all sorts of prototypes that might or might not get ported over to the retail version of Battlefield 4. So since the Isolate will do a rework of the spotting mechanic anyway, they might be able to test this change that I proposed here. So if you want to show the Isolate that you would like to test this change in a community test environment or give me any kind of feedback on this design concept, then you should have a look at the Reddit topic that I linked to in the description. Hopefully the CTE patch including the night version has already been released when you see this video, and maybe we meet on the CTE servers fighting in the shadows of Shanghai. I really can't wait. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris and this was Battle Nonsense.